right, let's start the video. Hey, how's it going? My name's Matthew Huchin. I go by Domingo now, though. Been recently going by that name for the past couple of years. I like it. It's my middle name. My father's, he gets called Domingo as well, and his father gets called Domingo. You're probably watching this video. Those close to me are probably wondering why I'm posting a video about anything, right? There's something has obviously happened, right? And I'm here to give you context to that. So I've left my job. I no longer work for this big company, right? I won't say their name out of respect to them. I've learned a lot from that company, and I have an appreciation for that, right? You can have respect for others, even though things have happened. You don't have to live with hate or resentment in your heart. But I need to get my story out, right? I need to tell it. We have technology now. We have cameras, phones. We have all these devices, right? And why wouldn't we use them to tell things, right? My father and his father, my grandfather, right? They're storytellers. They've always been since I was the age of a child. They were able to convey these stories through visualization. I apologize for that. And I hope to continue the same, right? I hope to continue telling my story through this. And so let's kind of circle back on my original topic, right? So I am no longer working at this specific company. The reason being, I was told that the salary I was making a pretty good salary, a very respectable salary, especially in the field that I was in. I was making good money. I was being able to bless my family, bless my girlfriend, bless those around me with the income I was getting. I wasn't stressing, right? And I understand that. I know a lot of people are stressing right now during this economic crisis. And I have an appreciation for that, and I understand, right? I appreciate the salary that I was being given. However, I was told that I was making too much money, that my salary was going to be reduced about $10,000. It wasn't based off my performance or nothing that I did. It was a simple glitch in the system that somehow I was making more than I should have, respective of my department and who I was and the people around me. I understand that, right? I'm not upset by that. Things happen, right? Things happen, and unfortunately, there was nothing I can do about it, right? What am I going to do? Go get legal action on it? No, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, right? I just couldn't take that excuse, right? The reasoning was that there was a glitch in the system. What it did was open my eyes to the life I was living, right? I was working pretty hard as a man, right? 27-year-old man now, and I love working, right? And that may be perceived as, oh, this guy has no life, or no, like, oh, he's all about his job. No, like I said, my father and his father were laborers. They take deep respect in the work they do. I did the same, right? There's nothing wrong with being common and being boring, right? There's nothing wrong with simplicity. A lot of people see simplicity as a negative. I didn't. I certainly didn't. I loved waking up early and going to the gym sometimes, or maybe in the evening, and doing my time of work during the week. I appreciated that, right? But when I heard that news, all motivation and everything inside me just stopped, right? I was expected to do the same thing I was doing the prior year, just $10,000 less. And it wasn't based on my performance, but a simple glitch in the system. That's fine, right? Hey, things in your life are going to happen, right? Marcus Aurelius writes about how we can't, if things are going to happen in your life, right, that you can't control, why would you stress about them, right? Why would you stress about them, right? Just think about that. Why would you stress about something you have no control over, right? That doesn't make any sense. I know it's simple, but when you really understand it, right, it can no longer harm you. So instead of staying at that job, I decided to part ways with it because, man, it was taking a lot out of me, a lot of my energy, right? And to be told that I was going to be making less, I just couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it. I had to just stop, right? I got to find a way for myself. And so now I'm not working there, right? I'm freelancer right now at the moment, right? And that's fine. there's been a glitch in my mind, right? A glitch in my mind, right? So that's what I've been telling people around me. Now I want to work for myself, right? I want to make myself. I want to make money and live my life through my art, right? And through my storytelling, right? And through what my abilities as a human being as I can do, right? I love the fact that these past 2 years they've given me consistency, right? With being able to have paid my bills for the most part, right? And live a comfortable life, right? Comfortable life, enough to where I wasn't stressing about my next meal, right? That's appreciation for that, right? With that, right? While many others around me were, going on vacation and, drinking and, going out partying and doing things, which I understand why. It's fun doing those things, right? I was in the gym. I was in my office reading books. I've been reading a lot of books, which I'll explain further in the next video probably. But I was working on myself during that time, right? Because that comfortability gave me time to think, right? And I've always been a thinker. It gave me time to think about, I need to build my skills as a human being, right? I don't have to go to college to get it, right? I don't need scoffs. I have respect for colleges and everything that they can do, right? But are they necessary? Not really, right? If you have confidence in yourself and you have an understanding for what you need to do, right? And that is improve your life, right? Through constant working out, right? Working out consistently, right? Putting yourself through stress. I love going to the sauna. That is my favorite thing. I try to average 30 minutes in there. Sometimes I can't, but I'll sit there crisscrossed and enter a meditation pose, right? Yeah. With that ability, I was able to think, right? I'm thinking about, okay, what do I want to do in life? What's my aim in life for, right? And by refining my skills, I've honestly helped me improve my mental health, and I've achieved this great state of mind, right? I know I should probably be stressed that I don't have a next job lined up or anything lined up. I should probably be stressed that, it's uncertain how I'm going to pay my bills, right? There's a deep fear in that, and I understand that, right? But I don't have fear anymore. I don't have fear of that, right? These past couple of years, I've learned to live on nothing. I've always learned to live on nothing, right? The job that I had, it gave me the ability to buy things I couldn't buy previously, right? And even when I bought those things, such as like an Xbox or a PlayStation, right? I didn't really use them because I liked them, but I knew that they weren't improving my life, right? And I say that comment, but games are great. Games are a great tool to relax and meditate and just get away from the world, and I appreciate that, right? But I couldn't do that at the time, right? These past years, I couldn't do that, right? I told myself, hey, the knowledge I'm learning right now, I need to focus, right? I need to focus on building myself, right? And I feel like I've done that, and this is just the start of my journey. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for the future, right? I'm excited because the future is uncertain, right? And a lot of people will be scared about that. I definitely was when I was younger, right? I was definitely scared of the uncertainty of things, of life, right? I had an elevated level of anxiety, and throughout my young adult career, I'm 27 now. So I'm not young anymore, but I'm definitely not old, right? But I'm in a sweet spot in my 20s, right? And I appreciate that. I love that I'm living my life right now, right? And it's all about perspective in your life, right? If I was to think about, I should be making this much, or I should be driving this car, or be living in this life, and having in this home, right? I wouldn't be happy, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? I live in a perspective of reality, right? I don't feel bad for myself. I don't make any excuses for myself anymore. None of that matters, right? Because none of that's going to help me out. So, but the point of this video is, right? I've been reading a lot about AI and everything that it can do, and I went ahead and got a subscription for OpenAI, ChatGPT, and I've been learning how to use ChatGPT, learning how to use DALL-E, right? Their video or visualize. Sorry, excuse my language. It generates images based off the context that you provide, right? And I've been working on that, right? I've today I made a video. It took approximately 2,000 words to create. It was a aliens themed video tribute to the movie that's coming out tomorrow, and I had hyperfixation just doing that job, right? Just making that video, right? I had I have the same amount of effort and hard work that I did at that job as I do for this craft, and I love it, right? Is it going to pay the bills? I don't know, right? Do I have to get a job, right? A job that's paying way less, maybe, right? Maybe, maybe I'll have to work at McDonald's, right? That's fine, right? If I have to work at McDonald's, that's fine, right? What's wrong with McDonald's? And do I care about what other people think about me and working at the other job? No, right? What it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to give myself my time back, right? That kind of job is fairly simple, right? And I say that with the deepest respect. It'll give me time to work on my craft that I am doing here, right? Speaking to you in front of you, respectively, and making videos, making stories, right? And making, learning from these books that I've been reading, right? And I'll just give a few examples that I've been reading. Mark Aurelius' Meditations, highly recommend. I mean, that's just day one book you should know, right? I've also been reading, recommended by Joe Rogan, is Book of the Five Rings. Oh, this one's a great one. Talks about the way of the samurai and how we can relate to the samurai nowadays, right? And I love reading. That's my favorite thing, right? It's hard for me to stay focused reading, but when I do read, stay focused, I learn a lot about myself. So I learn a lot about life, and there's knowledge in these papers, right? They may not seem as fascinating as an iPhone or a TikTok reel or social media, right? But if you can get through that, if you can sacrifice the time to read something like that, you've gained a lot of knowledge, right? A lot of knowledge that a lot of people haven't learned. So I'm going to continue to read. I'm going to continue to do this, but I'm reaching out for your help, right? And this help is for me to help my creative art. I'm asking you to give what you can, right? And if you can't give anything, that's fine. If you literally can't do anything, like monetarily wise, that's fine. I don't care, right? I'm making art right now, and I'm putting it on my social media handle. My Instagram is the Shy Joe, right? Some of you might not know what the Shy Joe is. I definitely didn't know before I learned the word. I might be pronouncing it incorrectly as well. But the Shy Joe is an area where martial artists engage in combat, right? It'd typically be like an elevated platform or a place where it's like squared off. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Bloodsport, but where they fight on, that could be considered a Shy Joe, right? And so why did I pick the word Shy Joe, right? It's because life is a Shy Joe, right? Life is a place where you have to practice and engage on your craft, right? If you're not consistently doing things that are improving your life, such as working out, meditating, reading books, right? How are you expecting yourself to improve, right? Step on that Shy Joe. I encourage you to do that. Step on that Shy Joe and learn, right? Learn about how you can improve yourself in your life, right? Because if you're not in a great state of mind and you don't have a healthy body, then when stress and adversity comes in your life, how are you going to deal with them, right? So I encourage you to read that, right? And I'm going to be making videos on those books, right? So maybe you don't even have to read them. Maybe I can paraphrase them and explain them to you in more simpler terms, right? Or in simpler terms. Maybe you just don't have the time to read them, right? Maybe I can symbolize it for you so that you could read them while you're at work or listen to them at your work, right? We're still working on that, right? And just look out for the updates. I'm going to be making that stuff, but the main premise is this, right? And I'm speaking to a certain demographic, right? My age, what I'm going through, right? And I'm speaking for the common man, right? The common man that is going to continue to work their job, right? That they might not have the ability to do what I'm doing right now, right? I'm speaking to them because you may be still fighting your war at your job, right? Maybe you're still pushing through that job, right? Well, let me help you with these books, right? Let me help you with achieving a good state of mind, right? And I say that with the humblest respect to this craft, right? I've improved a lot in my life, mentally and physically as well, and overall, right? And it wasn't just because I was getting older. It's because I was obviously when I hit 25. There's a saying where the front lobe or the prefrontal cortex of the male's brain fully develops, and there's like a meme where like you're acting stupid up to the age of 25, and then suddenly you just realize that, oh my God, my life depends on myself, right? Oh, you just hit the sudden realization. I definitely hit that, right? But I wasn't stressed out about it. I was like, oh, okay, hey, well, hey, let's start, right? And that's what I'm trying to teach is, regardless of where you're at in your life, let's start right now. Hey, this is going through your life. I'm going through this and that. Hey, let's start now, right? Because the stresses of the world, the stresses of life, the stuff you're going to experience in your life are going to continue to happen throughout your life, right? You can't control those things, right? But we can control our state of mind. We can control how we treat our bodies, how we treat others, right? And that's a very important thing, is to be mindful of others, right? You may not like someone at your job, you may not like someone around you, right? But you can still treat them with a sense of respect, right? Because maybe they have a certain action that we perform, and maybe they're a little bit narcissistic, or maybe they're a little bit or selfish, or maybe they, are rude or brash, right? We have every reason to not like these people, right? But we can relate to them because we are just like them. We are capable of the same actions, right? And that's from Marcus Aurelius too. And we'll go on that in another video, right? But let me just finish on this, right? I'm speaking to myself right now as well, right? Hey, this has happened to you, Domingo, right? Hey, you should probably be spiraling downwards in a negative state of mind, right? You should probably be going out drinking or doing something. You should probably be distracting yourself with substances or things, right? But I'm not, right? I don't feel bad for myself. I don't feel bad for what happened. I don't feel bad. I don't make excuses for myself, right? Hey, this happened and let's go. Hey, a little background of my history. I was in the United States Marine Corps Reserves at the age of 19. I served up to 2022. I did about 7.5 years of my contractual obligation. No, not 7.5 years. It's like 5.5, because it's a 6-year active reserve and then 2-year where you're in inactive reserve. So I did 5.5. I got out a little bit early due to the COVID going on and stuff. That they wanted me to get the shot, and I told them, well, why do I need the shot? I just don't understand yet. And with that being said, they said, hey, we would rather you just leave if you're not going to get the shot, right? Lo and behold, like literally a month or later, they're like, hey, you want to come back? We just repealed that decision, right? So that was just a sign, right, that I made the right decision, right? Everything happens in your life for a reason, and you have to be understanding of that, right? Once you understand why things happen in your life, you can start planning in another direction, right? Okay, this has happened to me. Let's traverse this way, right? And so that's what I want to continue to teach here is stop feeling sorry for yourself, right? Stop feeling like that you're going to get a big break because you deserve it, right? You don't deserve anything, right? This world doesn't owe you anything. No one owes you anything, right? Continue to improve on your skills, and one day you'll reach whatever you want to be at, right? It's all about time, right? When you see time as a way to improve, it's a game changer, because you're no longer worried about reaching a certain goal at a certain time. You'll know it's going to come because you have confidence in yourself, and I definitely have confidence in myself right now, right? And I got a lot of people in my ear whispering to me and whispering around me and telling me in my ear that are you okay, Domingo? Or like, I'm worried about you, Domingo. Or like, do you have anything lined up, Domingo? If I was to go based off their concern and their worry, well, then I wouldn't be doing this right now, right? I wouldn't, and that's okay, right? You're gonna have to be perceived as a little bit crazy, right? Because the path of the few is very misunderstood, and I hope to continue that. So honestly, this video has went along a lot longer than I thought. So we'll have to probably do another video. But hey, this is the start of something great, right? And I want to teach that. So I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night. And I encourage you to reach out to me if you want to talk about anything, right? And hey, I'll keep in touch. But hey, keep your head up. Let's keep going. There's work to be done. Well, we'll rest when we're in the grave, right? Well, whatever that time will be, right? Whether it's next week, next month, next year, whenever that time is ready where I'm to be called, hey, let it be called, because this life here is all right, right? But imagine how much more life could be once you're in heaven, right? Once you're with God, right? Once you go to the place that you're remembered of, that is better than this place, right? So keep that in mind, and talk to y'all soon. Have a good one.